It's 1666. Chhatrapati Shivaji, the Maratha lion, has been detained in Agra by Aurangzeb. Yet from the heart of the Deccan, a secret worry gnaws at the mind of the emperor's most trusted general, Mirza Raja Jai Singh. This is the same Rajput titan who just months earlier had achieved the impossible, forcing Shivaji to accept Mughal terms at Purandar. But Jai Singh is not worried about Shivaji or his escape. He's worried about someone else. In his secret correspondence with the Mughal emperor, Jai Singh keeps referring to a mysterious figure still lurking in the Deccan. He calls him the Second Shiva. Who was this mysterious figure? Who was this individual so formidable, so strategically significant that even the mighty Mirza Raja Jai Singh, the only man ever to bring Shivaji to his heels, saw him as a persistent threat? This is the forgotten story of that legend, a warrior whose name once echoed with fear through Mughal corridors. This is the story of Netoji Palkar. To understand Netoji Palkar's true stature, we must rewind to one of Shivaji's most audacious and dangerous gambits early in his career. His confrontation with Afzal Khan in 1659. Shivaji's father Shahji had once served the Bijapur Sultans, the Adil Shahs. But Shivaji had his own destiny in mind, meticulously carving out a nascent kingdom from their vast domain. Enraged by these encroachments, the current Sultan Ali Adil Shah II dispatched Afzal Khan with a clear and chilling directive. As the official court history of Ali Adil Shah notes, Afzal Khan was sent with 10,000 horsemen to chastise and extirpate that wicked man Shivaji. If Shivaji offered peaceful submission, then the Khan was to follow no other policy than of flinging the fire of death on the harvest of Shivaji's life. Afzal Khan was no ordinary adversary. He was the dreaded commander of the Bijapur Sultanate, a man whose very name struck fear. A historian describes Afzal as having occupied the reputation of a dreaded ogre. And this wasn't a negotiation, it was an execution order. The legendary meeting between Shivaji and Afzal Khan was in essence a deadly game of chess. Both sides were playing a treacherous game of baiting the other. Both men arrived armed at Pratapgarh Fort. Shivaji with a concealed Vagnak and armor beneath his robes, Afzal Khan with a dagger up his sleeve, each expecting betrayal from the other. And when Shivaji managed to overpower and kill the dreaded ogre, the fatal blow was delivered not by Shivaji alone, but with the crucial and decisive intervention of Netoji Palkar. The Sanskrit poem Shiv Bharat that Shivaji got written in his court years later describes Netoji's role by first asking the following question: where went that commander of Shivaji who was as swift as an eagle when Shivaji vanquished Afzal's army at Javali? Netaji had been strategically stationed tens of kilometers away from the site of the meeting. His difficult, near impossible task to cover that vast distance with rapid and forced marches, and then at Shivaji's signal from the hill fort to pound down on the unsuspecting Bijapuri army waiting in the valley below. And pound he did. Netaji and his forces arrived precisely on time, ensuring the element of surprise. What followed was a total decimation of Bijapur's military might. Their army was routed, their baggage looted, and their confidence shattered. This was the kind of decisive action that cemented Netoji Palkar's reputation as a force to be reckoned with. A reputation that would soon reach the ears of even the most powerful figures in the Mughal Empire. Impact of daring acts like this was so profound that he earned the moniker of Prati Shivaji among local populace, signifying his embodiment of the image of Shivaji. Aurangzeb sent a new Mughal Subadar to train Shivaji in 1660. A lot was riding on Shaista Khan, Aurangzeb's maternal uncle. Subduing Marathas seemed to be the central directive of his job description. Starting from regions in the North Konkan of the nascent Maratha kingdom, Shaista Khan had one success after another against Marathas for a couple of years. In 1663, Shaista Khan came within striking distance of Netoji. Apparently, Netoji had led his cavalry into a raid in Mughal territory, but a Mughal force of 7,000 pursued him so closely that he was riding 45 or 50 miles a day just to get rid of them. Not a lot of time passed and Netoji got his revenge. Soon after this, Shivaji and Netoji did the unthinkable. While Shivaji barged into Shaista Khan's private chambers in Pune and chopped off his fingers, Netoji stood guard at the entrance of Mughal camp to intercept any Mughal blowback. Year 1670. Aurangzeb sits in his court in Agra and he reads a scroll with latest news from Deccan. A court document chronicles that emperor looked at his courtiers and just sat in silence. In his inner circle, he often anxiously asked whom he should next send against Shivaji, seeing that nearly all his great generals had failed in the Deccan. Meet Mirza Raja Jai Singh, the 55-year-old patriarch from the kingdom of Amber, now modern-day Jaipur. He wasn't just a general, he was the senior-most commander in the entire Mughal army, a man whose illustrious career spanned the vast corners of Hindustan. When Aurangzeb needed someone to tame the Marathas, his gaze fell upon Jai Singh. In 1665, this Kachchauhar Rajput was dispatched to the Deccan. What followed was a masterclass in military strategy. For the first time, the indomitable Shivaji found himself cornered, forced to accept the harsh terms of surrender and acknowledge Mughal suzerainty. The story, as history tells it, took a dramatic turn after that. Shivaji, bound by the treaty, journeyed to Agra only to find himself a prisoner in Aurangzeb's court for 3 months. Yet during those tense months of Shivaji's captivity, Jai Singh's focus wasn't solely on the captured king. His true concern lay elsewhere, a persistent anxiety that haunted his strategic mind: the presence of Netaji Palkar. Jai Singh repeatedly referred to him as the Second Shiva. Somewhere in June 1666, a subtle trap was laid. Jai Singh proposed a meeting with Netoji, ostensibly under some pretext of negotiation or discussion. Imagine Netoji, perhaps relaxing, when suddenly Mughal guards burst in. He was arrested swiftly and decisively. Why such a drastic measure? Jai Singh understood that Netaji possessed the same fiery spirit and tactical brilliance as Shivaji, capable of reigniting the Maratha resistance and shattering that hard-won calm. Netoji, ensnared by Jai Singh's cunning, was sent as a prisoner to Delhi. There, he faced a brutal ultimatum: convert to Islam and serve the Mughal Empire as a commander in distant Afghanistan, or face certain death. Netoji chose survival. He accepted and was immediately dispatched to Afghanistan, rebranded as Muhammad Quli Khan. It's a tragic moment, isn't it? This forced conversion of a loyal general, a profound injustice through our modern eyes. But his was truly fascinating. We know this entire harrowing ordeal of Netoji from the Mughal records themselves. None of the voluminous court histories of Shivaji, the very chronicles meant to glorify his reign, breathe a single word about Netoji's plight. It's as if after this event, Netoji Palkar simply vanishes from Maratha sources. Even Shivaji, who would later be grandly crowned Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj in 1674, seems to have forgotten his most trusted general, his right-hand man. But fate, it seems, delights in defying expectations. For a decade, Muhammad Quli Khan, once Netaji Palkar, served the Mughal Empire. He fought alien tribes in the rugged distant corners of their vast dominion. Then in 1676, the impossible happened. Netoji Palkar returned. He re-entered Maratha service, and in a truly extraordinary turn of events for Indian history, he was converted from Islam back to Hinduism. Such instances of conversion and reconversion were remarkably rare, almost unheard of. But we know very little of the life of Netoji after 1676, except for one final poignant detail. He passed away shortly after Shivaji in 1681. And so this was the story of Shivaji's unwavering right-hand man, the unsung hero who helped the legendary Maratha warrior reach the glorious heights he did. This was the story of Second Shiva.